I was a young student in Brazil and had my aspirations and my plans, including to finish high school and to go to medical school in Brazil. A shliach from the Rebbe came, Rabbi Yosef Weinberg, came to Brazil, and after several conversations, he came to my house. Bekitzur O'Inyan, short story is that I ended up coming to the yeshiva to learn in Bedford and Dean, the Lubavitch Yeshiva in New York. At that point, 1950, I had lost my father at age 9. It was not easy to come, and not for me, and not for my family, for my mother. But this was the decision, and I found myself here in Brooklyn. I asked my principal, Rabbi Tenenbaum, if I can go in to talk to the Ramash. This was the name that they called the Rebbe before the Nesius. And he asked me, what do you have to talk to the Ramash about? So I told him whatever story, but it didn't press me too much. He made an appointment, and I went to the Rebbe before the Nesius. And spoke to the Rebbe. I was having a very difficult time here. Learning and a lot of absence from my family and away so much. The Rebbe responded to me, and then the Rebbe asked me at the end of the conversation, do you have a picture? The Rebbe spoke in Yiddish. I understood Yiddish. Do you have a picture from Rebbe? So I said yes. And the Rebbe said that so strogen den picture by dir, mit dir, in Keshene oder in the wallet, und Lisman geben mal guck auf dem picture.
When I was in Yechidus, in Tovshin Yud Zayin, on Oder, Yud Ches Oder, the Rebbe told me not to go to college at least 1 year, and maybe even more, and just give you koiches over to Limudei Kodesh. As a result of that, and the fact that I was going to Kinus Hatmimim, and I spoke with my father was very upset about it. And I wrote to the Rebbe and I told him what the situation was. So my birthday is in Oder, and the nearest time when we came in was Shvat, so I went in Yud Shvat with my father. He was still not 100% happy, and the Rebbe suggested that I ask him, this was 4 o'clock in the morning, Yud Bei Shvat Tavshin Chai. The Rebbe suggested that I ask my father to come to the Farbrengen, Purim. The next time I saw the Rebbe was Pesach, Tavshin Chai, Achron Shal Pesach at the Farbrengen, and afterwards there was Koshel Bracha. I must have been one of the last ones. I waited to see how everybody else go. It must have been about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe even later. And I wouldn't even thought that the Rebbe would recognize me. And as I went by, the Rebbe said, how's everything with your father? His situation improved. And this was somebody, a boy of 18, who really was not here for that many years. I was in Yechidus 4 o'clock in the morning after a whole night of Yechidus, and after days of Farbrengens. Yud Shvat was Friday night, Shabbos. And Purim, Tavshin Chai, the Rebbe took a lot of mashke. The Rebbe was told, Baal Peh, that Mr. Lew is at this Farbrengen. And Achron Shal Pesach, the Rebbe still had that in mind and sort of reminded me and said, how's everything going?
The Farbrengen was upstairs in the small shul. And my mental picture is that there were not too many people there. Yeah. But I was standing, people were sitting from both sides of the table. I was standing on the side after one of the people sitting there and just listening. I couldn't understand too much. I tried to understand what the Rebbe was saying. The Rebbe was talking in Yiddish, and the Rebbe was talking in Hebrew, in Aramaic, the Lashonos from Gemara, the Zohar, Kedema. I tried to pick up whatever I could, but the Ikar, I was concentrating on the setting of the Rebbe, you know. And in the middle of that Fabrengen, after between the Sichers, the Rebbe says, Efshe vet Herson sagen L'chaim. So they gave me L'chaim. I said, L'chaim, that's it. But this was the kiruv of the Rebbe to everyone, and especially a Bocher. Didn't make a difference. How old, Geza, Nishkin Geza from Brazil, from another. So the Rebbe, this was, everything was yoker and everything was important.
And the Rebbe would never wear galoshes, didn't use an umbrella, and it came in the winter, there was snow, there were blizzards, and they decided that the Rebbe should not have to walk through inches and inches of snow when there's snow, and they wanted to buy a snowplow, a small portable snowplow like a lawnmower that would clear away from the Rebbe's house to 770 for such occasions. And only Bochurim were allowed to participate. I think we gave $10 each or something. It must have cost a few $100s. There was that tremendous care, a tremendous love, which was reciprocated in both directions between the Rebbe and the Bochurim. So L'chaim, Zozayin Atzlacha, we should all work, each of us realize that my part, my life, is able to have a kesher, pnimi v'atzmi, with the Rebbe, and that in itself will help me to my geula pratis, to redeem myself and to overcome my own distractions or points which need a lot of improvement,